Hello, my friends. It is I, your favorite space uncle, and it's time for another story. A story of the Neckbeard variety. Yes, we have some more Neckbeard stories. It's been a little bit since I found some good stuff on here, so let's check it out. This is from Reddit user I really like colors 555. I really like colors too. This is my brother, whom I love, is unfortunately a neckbeard. Here is my story. Well, hopefully the story has a happy ending, so let's find out. I never thought I'd be posting my own story here, but yeah, here I go. So my brother, Jake, fake name, is a neckbeard, I think. Now don't get me wrong, both him, myself, and our older sister are all nerds. We all love D&D, sci-fi, video games, etc. Kind of what happens when your mom makes you watch Doctor Who and learn to read via her playing The Legend of Zelda. All of these things don't really inherently make you a neckbeard, but I like where the start of this is. Mainly because that was kind of the same thing I had. Anyway, moving on. The differences between us, however, are also astounding. Our sister, Ginny, fake name also, is easily the most charismatic and neurotypical, and managed to snag a lovely husband a couple years ago. I'm single for personal reasons, read lesbian, and whatnot, and Ginny and I both happen to practice, basic hygiene. Jake, however, doesn't. Yeah, that's kind of a bad sign, my dude. Oh, I don't like that. Jake isn't bad looking, don't get me wrong. He's on the heavy side like the rest of us, but he's not fat. He's 6'3", cleans up nice. The problem is, he doesn't. He's a neckbeard in the quite literal sense, with greasy blonde beard that I swear goes all the way to his collarbones. But I'm not here just to harp on Jake for the fact that he doesn't tend to shower that often. I actually have a story to go with it. So all my siblings, a couple of cousins, and myself all work together at my mother's restaurant. It's a fairly popular place in town, and we've been open for about 30 years. That's pretty cool, dude. My sister's the manager and bartender. My cousin Drake, fake name, remember for later, and the previously mentioned Jake are cooks in the back. Jenny's husband and myself are servers and a drive-thru manager. Our mom works the office, does payroll, occasionally cooks on the line. It's a whole family thing. That actually sounds really cool. It's like Bob's Burgers in real life. One day, however, we get a new server. Let's call her Sam. Again, fake name. I get it. Sam, in my professional lesbian opinion, was smoking. If she wasn't 33 years old, I would have went for it, but we ended up actually becoming very good friends. She had very long, straight black hair and a hooked Greek nose. She's very soft-spoken, despite having an extremely fiery personality. She's also tall, thin, very nice. I, of course, was not the only one to notice how hot she was, and my brother immediately called dibs. Oh boy. We all thought it was cute at first. We hadn't seen Jake have a crush on a girl since his last girlfriend cheated on him with her best friend. Ow. That's fucked up. Turns out she was also a lesbian, which, cool I guess, but maybe don't cheat on my brother for 4 out of your 5-year relationship. Whoa. Yeah, you know what? I kind of have to agree with you there, OP. Discovering yourself is totally fine, but yeah, that's just kind of fucked, dude. You kind of just kept doing that over and over? Really? Jeez. That's just cold. Just fucking break up with the dude. You didn't have to do that. But yeah, it was a rough ride, and it was clear Jake was having a hard time moving on. Understandably so, fuck. And then Sam came along. It was like he lit up whenever she was around, even though he was and is painfully awkward around women. We did everything in our power to set them up, but it just wasn't going to happen, especially with his current view on hygiene. That does tend to be a bit of a hindrance there, my dude. I once, as his baby sister with an age gap of 10 years, gave him money to go get his hair cut. He took the money, but of course, did not get his hair cut. I also recently learned that although he does shower semi-regularly, he doesn't use soap. What? Ever. Why? No shampoo, no conditioner, no body wash. Why? He just jumps in the water, waits, and then leaves. He doesn't use a washcloth to, like, exfoliate or wipe down. I thought he was fucking with me till I saw his bathroom. Completely barren, save for a toilet paper roll and a roll of paper towels by the sink. I almost wept. I'm mostly just confused. Like, what is the point? Like, okay, I get, emotional turmoil and things like this, but, like, dude, you already got in and the water's on. Just do the thing. Like, what? I'm so confused by this. He followed after Sam like a lost puppy, lamenting to everyone who would hear about how she wouldn't notice him because of her ex-douche boyfriend and how he was so much better for her. Oh, no. Which, in all honesty, with how shitty your ex was, Jake actually would have been an upgrade. I mean, okay, but that's not a thing you should just, constantly go on about. It really makes you look like a douche. As much as I wanted to smack the shit out of him and tell him to either clean up and ask her out or just, like, have a conversation with her, like a human, it was fun to poke fun at him when it was new. It's natural to be nervous, but it got to the point where even after they'd hung out in group settings multiple times, and even alone, he could not talk to her normally. He once almost had a stroke because he tried to tell her her hair looked nice, stuttered once, and then fled halfway through the sentence. I'm sorry, do you live in a bad anime? Like, what the fuck? Really? I witnessed the whole thing. After about 7 months of this song and dance, and Sam clearly knowing Jake was into her, but saving him the humiliation of rejection, Sam had to change shifts 1 day a week because of her other job. This is where Drake comes into play. Drake is our cousin on our dad's side. No relation to my mom other than us, but he still works at the restaurant mostly because it's something to do. Drake worked almost exclusively on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, where Sam worked Monday, Tuesday, Saturday. When she started working Wednesday, she quickly took notice of how pretty our cousin is. And I'm not being weird when I say pretty. He is objectively a pretty man. As a fellow very pretty man, I understand this. He's tall, works out 6 days a week, has very dark features. You wouldn't be able to tell that we're related until you put us directly next to each other, considering me and my siblings are very fair-skinned, very blonde, and very stocky. We're actually all very Italian, but my mom's Irish genes came through somehow and beat the shit out of every dominant gene my dad tried to pass along. It's an interesting way of putting it, I like it. Of course, you can tell where this is going. Naturally, being two of the prettiest people there, Drake and Sam started a thing together. A secret thing, of course, because Drake and Jake are very, very close. Oh, I see this ending badly. About a week into their thing, though, Drake feels awful. He came to Jenny and me to ask for help. He was almost in tears. He was so guilty because he really did like Sam, but he felt he was betraying Jake, even though it had been half a year and they'd never even come close to dating. Yeah, that's, I don't even know who you would say is in the right there. I mean, everybody's either in the wrong or just not doing things, and it's like, that's fucked. But good on this dude for at least trying to be honest and noble about it. Ginny and I were stuck between a rock and a hard place. Jake is our brother, but he had time to let things happen, and they just weren't going to. Drake and Sam, however, had known each other for maybe 2 weeks before they decided to try things out, and they had very good chemistry together. Drake is also like our second brother, as our dads were really close, and we were raised more like siblings. This is where things get dicey. I told him just to tell Jake that things between him and Sam were happening, and that telling him would be better than not. Jenny, however, told Drake that it was none of Jake's business what either him or Sam did, since, they never dated. Jake might have called dibs, but dating someone's crush apparently doesn't break the bro code, but an ex does. I have no idea what a bro code is, and I guess maybe that's a straight guy thing. I never got it. Well, one thing led to another, and the worst thing that could have happened happens. Our mom finds out, as moms do, and our mom, being diagnosed autistic and completely incapable of lying or keeping secrets, just tells Jake. Not in a mean way or to, expose Drake, just boom, give him the information, no fluff, no it's okays or anything, just word vomit. And this is where things get neckbeardy and nice guy-y. Nice guy-y? Yeah, I'm like you, I don't know how you spell it, and it sounds weird when you say it, but I know what you mean. Jake freaks the fuck out. And not in a reasonable way to finding out your cousin and kind of pseudo-brother is banging your crush. He calls Drake, though it goes to voicemail, as he was actually with Sam on a date, and leaves a 17-minute-long voicemail, calling Drake a betrayer, a dream killer, a snake, a cheat, pretty much every Shakespearean insult in the book. He talks about how Sam deserves far better than a liar, someone like, well, Jake, perhaps, who would always give her honesty and trust, unlike the vagabond, rake, devil liar that is Drake. Oh my god, did he really say that? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to hear this voicemail. After that, he blocked our cousin, blocked Sam, blocked Jenny, and me for some reason, even though he didn't know we had any involvement at the time. And then proceeds to write a long Shakespearean odyssey on Bookface, in a very cryptic and totally not about our cousin way, forgetting that he had Sam on the mentioned app. I really want to see this fucking thing. I really want to see what he wrote. Sam had actually found the post before Drake had realized that he had the voicemail and messaged both Jake and myself. Jake wrote back, less angry now considering he was talking to his lady love, about how inadequate he felt, that Drake was really a great guy and he just couldn't compete with that, and he'd be happy for them one day, but he just couldn't now, and that he didn't think that he could just be friends with her. Sam accepted this in stride and told him that she loved him as a friend, even if it wasn't the type of love that he needed, and gave him some space. She and I talked on the phone about it as she consoled my cousin, who was again crying over the voicemail that Jake had left. Jake deleted the Facebook post the next day, realizing it was just a little too cringe, even for him. He did leave Drake blocked, though, leading him to use my mom's phone to try and talk to him. It led to a very terse but civil conversation that had a lot of apologies from Drake's end and a lot more, "you don't deserve hers," from Jake's, though with admittedly less spite. Things weren't fixed, but they weren't on fire. Sam and Drake broke things off less than a week later. She felt guilty about causing a rift. She even quit her job. Though me and my sister miss her dearly, she really was a fantastic employee. I kept telling her that she didn't belong to either of them, and it was their fault for A, Jake calling dibs on another human being, and B, Drake not just telling Jake out the gate what was happening. Actually, yes, you're right, OP. She agreed, but still left on good terms with pretty much everyone. It's been a few months now, and on a lighter note, Drake and Jake are good again. It took a couple of weeks, but things are as they were. Jake's Neckbeard ways are even improving. He's starting to smoke less, eating better, took up a sport, and actually started using shampoo after I'd not so subtly bought him a XXL bottle of 2-in-1. It's 2-in-1, but Jesus, at least it's a start. He also finally shaved. Yeah, this is a hell of a story, and on the, I guess, plus side, I'm glad that your brother and your cousin aren't fighting anymore. I'm glad that they were able to work things out. I'm really glad that he's decided to start, actually bathing properly, because, seriously, dude, wash, that's like a thing. Everybody needs to do that all the time. That is the one lesson I learned from this whole corona thing, is not enough people bathe. It's like a thing. It's weird. I don't like it. Stop that. Actually get in the shower. But, yeah, I'm like you. A lot of this could have been avoided if, A, Jake had just not decided to call dibs on an actual human being like they were an object, and B, if Drake had just straight out said something. And granted, there probably would have still been some kind of argument between the two of them, because a lot of nice guy personality stuff is into that whole, but I saw her first, that kind of thing. It really just doesn't work. Hopefully your brother can learn to, cope and understand a lot of these feelings of just being sometimes it doesn't work out, Sometimes it's just okay, I like this person, but they don't like me. Or I like them, but that just wouldn't be healthy. Or, sometimes shit just doesn't happen. And that's okay. It is okay to fail. Because that's how we learn. You don't learn by being immediately good all the time. Nobody's immediately good all the time. But you have to try, and you gotta fail sometimes. On the plus side, like I said, I'm glad they're not fighting anymore. Kinda sucks that Sam had to, quit her job and felt so bad about all this, but I can understand her position in all this, too. Kind of feel like you fucked up a whole family with that kind of stuff. Though, granted, I don't think it was entirely her fault, to be honest with you. She did know that, you know, Jake had feelings for her, but at the same time, if he wasn't going to make a move, what are you going to do? You know? Reminds me of like a Neckbeard dude that I knew when I was in high school who obviously had feelings for this girl, and they were like constantly hinting that they were going to someday be in a relationship, maybe, except that she really wanted him to start dating her so that she could leave like her really shitty ex, and he just would not like nut up and do something. He just always, oh, I don't know, I really like her, but I don't know, and just going back and forth about shit. So it's like, okay, if you're not going to do something, then stop. You know, stop, you know, pining after the milady and shit like that. Just fucking move on, do something. But, yeah, no, I've seen this behavior before. It's weird. But, again, OP, it sounds like your brother's actually maturing and moving away from that. And actually getting better. So that's a plus. That's a very good thing. We want that. So thank you for this awesome story, and thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube crap. I have a Ko-Fi, which is like Patreon, but like fucking cooler. And I have a merch store, which is like a lot of YouTubers' merch stores, except mine's fucking awesome. So, you know, you can check that out. The links to those things are in the description of pretty much every single video. Every weekend, my fantastic fiance and I do live streaming from Friday till Sunday. Sometimes it's video games, sometimes it's weird stuff we find on the internet. You're always welcome to come and join us. And I've started on Monday basically recording these while live streaming. So if you'd like to see these being done live, you can do that. It's all on my Twitch channel, except for the one thing, but you'll know. Look, the links are there. You can just go check them out. If you would like to send in your own story, you can send it to r/Moonhorse Stories. It can be about pretty much anything, really. And I have a Discord server if you'd like to come hang out with me and all my fantastical friends. And I guess that'll do it. So we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.
I love you. Goodbye.